Welcome back to New Day Northwest. Today marks 1 week until Mariners opening day. It is the first regular season game since some rule changes went into effect that the league hopes will speed up the game. Joining me now is a guy who probably looks familiar to fans in Seattle. Former Mariner Raul Ibañez is now Major League Baseball's Senior Vice President of On-Field Operations. Well done, sir.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
So we're glad to have you because we wanted to talk about some of these changes that we already saw in action during spring training. What are your overall impressions?
I think it's been really positive. The response from our fans it's been very positive. And at the same time, players are adapting quickly. We tested these rules, this set of rules in over 8,000 minor league games last year. And what we're seeing is the same trend line that we saw throughout the minor leagues last year, where we went from, about 2 pitch timer violations per game in week 1, and now we're down to 1. And ultimately, it got down to less than 1 violation per game, about half a violation per game. So we're really excited. The players are adapting quickly. We have the best players in the world. They're able to show their athleticism, their dynamic versatility on the field, especially fielding with the shift restrictions. And the overwhelming response has been, the overall response has been overwhelmingly positive.
That's great. So it sounds like they're getting used to them. But I also heard the MLB just made some minor tweaks to the new rules, right?
Sure. And we've been in communication with players, getting feedback from them, talking with the Players Association as well, and working together to get these things right. We feel very comfortable and confident where we are right now. And so, yeah, that's been a constant dialogue back and forth, and it's been very positive.
All right, let's talk about some of these new rules. Explain the pitch clock and how it helps speed up the game.
Sure. So the pitch timer is essentially the pitcher has 15 seconds from the time he receives the ball back from the catcher to get his sign and deliver a pitch, and 20 seconds when there's when there's a runner on base. And so it creates, for us, it has not been about the length of game. It's been more about pace of play. That's the feedback that we've gotten from our fan base. And so the pace of play is significantly increased. It reminds me of the game that I grew up watching in the 70s and 80s. And even the early 90s when I first started playing professional baseball. It's a really great game. And overall, once you start watching it after a couple innings, it just kind of the timer kind of dissolves into the background, and all you get is more of what you want in this game, which is action, pace of play, and athleticism.
Yeah, that's exciting. Let's talk about the limited pickoffs from a pitcher.
Yeah, so the new rules of the pitcher has 3 pickoff attempts. On the 3rd attempt, if he does not pick off the runner, it's a balk, and the runner can advance the base. Pitchers are still, it has increased our stolen base activity, which is something that our fans have been telling us for quite some time, that one of the plays that they love the most in the game is more stolen bases and stolen base attempts. But it's also, it's not as if it's very easy. It's not like a guy like me can go out and steal 30 bases. You still have to be a skilled athlete that can steal bases and well above average runner. Pitchers throw harder than ever before. Their time to the plate is shorter than ever before, and catchers are better than ever as well. And their pop times are as good as it's ever been in history.
And speaking of bases, they're a few inches bigger now. How is that going to help?
So that's really been all about player health and safety. Adding 3 inches to the bases, as we're saying and we've talked about here, is players are bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic. This is just to reduce collisions around the bases, which had been trending upward. And so it's really a player health and safety. It gives them 3 more inches around the bag to navigate around the bag. Now, on the margins, you have 4.5 inch. The bases are 4.5 inches closer between first and second base. So a guy like Julio Rodriguez or J.P. Crawford, they may be able to swipe a few extra bags because of that. But you still have to be a skilled base stealer and a fast runner.
Speaking of Julio, do you still keep up with the Mariners? Are there any players you're particularly excited about?
It's a great team. The Mariners, what happened last year, that team that they fielded last year, was one of the most exciting teams in baseball. And of course, the year before in 2021, I think they just missed it by a game. But last year, the excitement around that ball club was tremendous. I got to see them in person in Toronto, and it was a really exciting team. And the improvements that Jerry Dipoto and John Stanton and Scott Service have added this year there's a lot to be excited about in Seattle.
Oh yeah, we have been thrilled. All right, one last question before I let you go. I agreed to umpire my kids' Little League games. I think this was not a great decision. Do you have any advice for me going forward?
If it's not too late, could you just say no to that? I would just say no. I'm really not sure. I did umpire some when I was in high school, and I was not very good at it. So I wish I could help you there. But if there's still time and you could pull the chute and opt out, I would advise to do that and enjoy the game from the stands, or get in the dugout and help with the coaching.
Yeah,
That's
you know what?
I
could do that. I could do equipment management. Thank you so much, Raul. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you. Pleasure's mine.
All right.